Welcome to Narrations. Today, we fly back to Neverland with Hook, 1991, a magical adventure directed by Steven Spielberg. This film reimagines the story of Peter Pan with a grown-up twist. What if Peter Pan grew up and forgot everything about his childhood adventures? Starring Robin Williams, Dustin Hoffman, Julia Roberts, and Maggie Smith, Hook is a story of rediscovery, imagination, and the power of believing in who you used to be. Peter Banning, Robin Williams, is a successful but overworked corporate lawyer living in San Francisco. He's forgotten how to have fun, and his relationships with his wife Moira and children Jack and Maggie are strained. He yells too often, misses important family events, and is glued to his phone. What he doesn't remember, however, is that he was once Peter Pan, the boy who never grew up. The story begins with Peter and his family flying to London to visit Granny Wendy, Maggie Smith, the now elderly woman who once cared for orphans. During their stay, something strange and terrifying happens. Peter's children are kidnapped. The window is shattered, a note is left behind, and it's signed by none other than Captain Hook, Dustin Hoffman. Granny Wendy tries to explain the impossible to Peter, that he is really Peter Pan, and Captain Hook has returned to take his revenge. Peter refuses to believe it. But soon, a glowing ball of light zips into the room. Tinker Bell, Julia Roberts. She knocks Peter out, wraps him in a sheet, and flies him off to Neverland. There, Peter wakes up in a world full of pirates, lost boys, mermaids, and flying ships. But he's no longer the Peter Pan they remember. He's overweight, confused, and afraid of heights. Hook, elegant and menacing, is delighted to see Peter in such a pathetic state. He gives Peter 3 days to prepare for a final duel to win back his children. Tinker Bell, determined to help Peter remember who he is, brings him to the Lost Boys. Led by the spirited and skeptical Ruffio, the Lost Boys don't believe this grown man could be their leader. But Tinker Bell insists. This is Peter Pan. He just needs to remember. Peter trains clumsily. He falls, stumbles, and can't fly or fight. But slowly, sparks of the old Peter begin to emerge. A playful food fight unlocks his imagination. Interactions with the boys reignite his joy. And in a magical moment, when one of the younger Lost Boys takes Peter's face in his hands and whispers, "There you are, Peter," the truth clicks into place. Meanwhile, Captain Hook is manipulating Peter's son Jack, who is angry at his father's neglect. Hook gives Jack the attention and praise he craves, slowly turning him against Peter. Maggie, Peter's daughter, resists Hook's charms, reminding Jack of their real father's love. This emotional subplot makes the stakes deeply personal. Peter finally regains the ability to fly, his youthful spirit reawakened. Dressed in his green tunic, sword in hand, he leads the Lost Boys into battle against Hook's pirates in a colorful, chaotic showdown. Peter fights with agility and humor, using both his sword and his imagination. He rescues Maggie, then confronts Jack, who begins to remember who his father really is. The final duel between Peter and Hook is dramatic and full of callbacks to their legendary rivalry. Peter spares Hook's life, showing how much he's grown. But Hook, true to his villainous nature, refuses to accept defeat. In the end, he meets his fate in poetic fashion when a giant crocodile statue collapses on him. Ironically, the same crocodile that once haunted him. With his children safe and his memories restored, Peter says goodbye to the Lost Boys, leaving leadership to Thudbutt. He returns to the real world with a renewed sense of purpose, warmth, and childlike wonder. He embraces his family, no longer the disconnected lawyer but a joyful, present father. Granny Wendy watches with pride, knowing that Peter has finally reconciled his two selves. The child who believed in magic and the man who lives in the real world. And as Peter greets the world with a newfound energy, chasing his shadow, cracking jokes, and appreciating life, the story reminds us all that you're never too old to believe. Hook is more than a fantasy. It's a heartfelt tale about growing up, letting go, and remembering who you truly are. Spielberg's vision, paired with John Williams' soaring score, makes this a nostalgic journey worth taking again and again. If this story stirred your inner lost boy or girl, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Narrations for more magical recaps of beloved films.